Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United must beat Chelsea this Sunday. Now it's going to be a difficult game because Chelsea are playing very well. Chelsea are top of the Premier League at the moment. They've only lost one game in the league so far this season. Chelsea recently beat Juventus 4-0 and they won their last league game against Leicester 3-0. Chelsea have got a very good manager in Thomas Tuchel. Last season he won the Champions League with Chelsea because Chelsea beat Man City in the final. And last season Tuchel also got Chelsea to the FA Cup final, but they lost the FA Cup final to Leicester. Tuchel has been in charge of Chelsea for almost a year now. He's got a contract with them until 2024. Before Chelsea, he was at PSG. Before then, he was at Borussia Dortmund. And before, he's managed Mainz 05. Before Tuchel, Chelsea had Frank Lampard. Chelsea sacked Frank Lampard last season. I think he endured around 18 months with Chelsea. Obviously Lampard is a Chelsea legend. He's their all-time leading goal scorer with 211 goals. Before Lampard, Chelsea had Maurizio Sarri. He only lasted a season at Chelsea. I think they actually should have given Sarri a bit more time. Sarri actually won the Europa League when he was Chelsea manager, and he also got Chelsea to the League Cup final. Before Sarri, Chelsea had Antonio Conte. Conte actually won the Premier League in his first full season when he was Chelsea manager. But obviously Chelsea still ended up sacking him. Conte is obviously now the Tottenham manager. Conte is the manager that Manchester United should have, because we should have sacked Ole after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. Before Conte, Chelsea had Jose Mourinho. Of course, Chelsea sacked Jose Mourinho. Mourinho endured 2 spells with Chelsea. Obviously won, a couple of Premier League titles with Chelsea. And before, Chelsea had Di Matteo. I think they also sacked him. I think at one point they had Gus Higgins. At one point they had Rafa Benitez. And I think they've sacked all them, what I've just mentioned. At one point they had Boas. They also sacked him. They had Carlo Ancelotti as well. Chelsea sacked him. When he was Chelsea manager, he won the Premier League and was it the League Cup or the FA Cup? So there you go. Chelsea have sacked a lot of managers. Since Roman Abramovich, went to Chelsea, I reckon Chelsea have sacked around 12 or 13 managers. Chelsea have got a good squad, like I mentioned on the preview earlier on today. Obviously they've got Kai Havertz, he's a very good player. Chelsea got him from Bayer Leverkusen. Man United tried to get him before. Havertz has got an injury. Chelsea have also got Christian Pulisic. Chelsea, of course, got him from Dortmund a few years ago. You know, he's still young. Pulisic got a lot of development in him. Chelsea, of course, have got Timo Werner. I don't think Werner has done well, as a lot of Chelsea fans expected, but I do think he has improved recently, but he endured a poor start to his Chelsea career. But like I've said before, it does take some players time to settle in. Chelsea got Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. Chelsea, of course, have got Romelu Lukaku. Now, he's made an impact since he re-signed for Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea re-signed Lukaku last summer. And he's likely to play in this game on Sunday, so he will be reuniting with Manchester United. You know, Man United had Lukaku for around 2 years. And he did very, very well for us. You know, when we did get Lukaku from Everton back in 2017, we got him for, what, 90 million, 75 million up front, 15 million in add-ons. Chelsea have also got Callum Hudson-Odoi. You know, he's a good young player. They've got Mason Mount. He's another good young player. They've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They've also got that Reece James, that young player. You know, that Reece James is a right back. Another one of Chelsea's key players is N'Golo Kante. I reckon he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Kante's actually got an injury at the moment. Chelsea got N'Golo Kante from Leicester. And Kante, you know, he's won the Premier League as a Chelsea player. He also won the Premier League when he was at Leicester. Chelsea have also got Jorginho. I think they did get him from Napoli. To be honest with you, I don't really rate Jorginho, but he can have his good games at Chelsea. Chelsea have also got Christensen. I don't really rate that Christensen. They've also got Saul Niguez. They got him on loan from Atletico Madrid last summer. You know, don't forget Manchester United tried to get him. Chelsea have also got that Kovacic. He's got an injury. Chelsea have got Ben Chilwell. I think he's good. Ben Chilwell is a left back. Chelsea got Ben Chilwell from Leicester. You know, Chelsea have done very, very good business with Leicester, haven't they, in recent years. And by the way, Ben Chilwell, I think he's got an injury. Chelsea have also got that Marco Alonso. I think he's another left back. They've got Thiago Silva. They've also got Milan Sarr. Rudiger, he's a very, very good centre half. I think he'll be in contention to play in this game. They've also got that Azpilicueta as well. They've got Hakim Ziyech as well. Chelsea's goalkeepers are Arrizabalaga. Is he Chelsea's second choice now, if I'm right? I think Mendy's their first choice goalkeeper, and they've also got that Bettinelli, who they got from Fulham in the summer transfer window. So they are a lot of Chelsea's players. Tuchel, he's obviously inheriting players who obviously Frank Lampard brought in. So there you go. As for Manchester United, they're coming into this game on the back of a 2-0 win against Villarreal. The goals against Villarreal came from Cristiano Ronaldo, and we saw Jadon Sancho score his first goal for the club. Reflecting on the win against Villarreal, Manchester United qualified for the last 16 of the Champions League. And of course, it was Michael Carrick's first game in charge as the interim manager, and of course he won his first game as the interim manager. And I'd give Michael Carrick a lot of credit because I thought his game plan was correct and his substitutions were correct. So I really did like the way he approached the game. We was defensive though against Villarreal, but obviously it was expected because Michael Carrick has always been defensive anyway. Manchester United lost their last league game against Watford 4-1, and that's what ended Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure at Man United. I'm expecting some changes to be made in this game against Chelsea from the 2-0 win against Villarreal. We do have players missing. Obviously, there's no Raphael Varane. He's out with a hamstring injury. I think he's out for another 2 to 3 weeks. It's the second injury Varane has endured because not so long ago Varane was out with a groin injury, and he was out with that groin injury for a few weeks. Obviously, there's no Pogba. Pogba's got a thigh injury. He sustained a thigh injury in France training earlier on in the season. I think Pogba's going to be missing the rest of 2021. Luke Shaw, he has been out with a head injury. I don't know if he's going to be available for this game against Chelsea, but Luke Shaw did not play against Villarreal. You know, Tellez played ahead of him. Edison Cavani, of course, he's out with injury until December. Cavani had an injury earlier on this season. So they're the injuries Man United have got. Mason Greenwood won't be playing any part in this game because Greenwood is out with COVID. He's out with COVID, for a few weeks now, is it? Harry Maguire, he can't play in this game against Chelsea because he's suspended. Maguire got sent off in the 4-1 defeat to Watford. He's got a 3-match suspension, I think. This game last season at Stamford Bridge in the league was 0-0. Also, the game at Old Trafford in the league between Man United and Chelsea was 0-0 last season. Manchester United have not got the best record at Stamford Bridge. We did beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the league back in February 2020, and that was the first time Man United won at Stamford Bridge in the league since 2012, so that's like 8 years. And we did beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the FA Cup at one point. But I'm really looking forward to this game. Now, earlier on today, I give you the news on Mauricio Pochettino. It's said that PSG reject Manchester United's approach to appoint Mauricio Pochettino. Recently, Pochettino said he's so happy at PSG and he won't let the Man United rumours distract him. We now have to wait until the end of the season to get Pochettino. He said not so long ago though that Pochettino was interested in the Manchester United job. And he said Manchester United have agreed to pay the 10 million compensation fee for Pochettino. And the Manchester Evening News said earlier on this week that Man United are confident of appointing Mauricio Pochettino as their next permanent manager. Earlier on this week it said Pochettino is prepared to quit PSG to become Manchester United manager now. Pochettino is Man United's number one choice. Fabrizio Romano confirmed that not so long ago. Pochettino does have a full season left on his PSG contract. Yes, he has a full season left on his PSG contract. But yeah, I do reckon he would be the right manager for Manchester United. You know, Pochettino's hardly won anything now. Do you think that is a concern? I think he has won a trophy with PSG. Obviously, he didn't win anything in his 5.5 years at Tottenham, but despite that, I still think he did really well at Tottenham because he almost won the Premier League at Tottenham, and back in 2018, he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure when he was at Tottenham, though, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. Before he managed Southampton, of course he didn't win anything at Southampton. He only enjoyed a short tenure at Southampton, but he still guided Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. And of course before he managed Espanyol. Manchester United should have got Pochettino after the club sacked Mourinho, but obviously the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. Man United are looking to appoint an interim manager until the end of the season. Now, there's been rumours coming out about Ernesto Valverde. So it does mention that Manchester United have held talks with Ernesto Valverde over taking over as the interim manager. Ernesto Valverde is managerless. He's been managerless for almost 2 years. his last managerial role was Barcelona. When he was Barcelona manager, he won back-to-back La Liga titles. He also won the Copa del Rey. He was sacked by Barcelona back in January 2020. Before Valverde managed Olympiacos, he enjoyed 2 spells with them. He did win the Greek title on 3 occasions with Olympiacos before he's managed Atletico Bilbao, and he also won a trophy with them. So would he be the right manager for Manchester United? Lucien Favre and Rudi Garcia have also been mentioned. Apparently Man United have held talks with the duo over taking over as the interim. Ralph Rangnick, he's been spoken about a lot. It did say not so long ago that Man United could line up a move for Ralph Rangnick if they can't get Pochettino this season. So there you go. Obviously the managers we've been trying to get permanently. Obviously we try to get Pochettino, like I've mentioned. Brendan Rodgers, he's been linked with a job at Man United. But I've disregarded Rodgers. Zinedine Zidane was linked with a managerial role at United, but I've disregarded him because Zidane is wanted by PSG. If Zidane goes to PSG, I can assure Man United will get Pochettino. Eric Ten Hag, he's been spoken a lot about as well. I presume there's a lot of United fans that would like to see him come in. At the moment, Michael Carrick is the interim manager. If we can't find anybody, then we'll probably have to stick with Michael Carrick for the long term, unfortunately. It got announced last Sunday morning that Michael Carrick taken over as the interim manager following the dismissal of Solskjaer. Yes, Solskjaer was sacked last Sunday morning by Manchester United following the 4-1 defeat to Watford. Not so long ago, Solskjaer gave a farewell interview, and obviously got emotional in that farewell interview. Because obviously the club means so much to him. I don't think Man United really wanted to sack Solskjaer, but it come to the point where the club had no choice but to sack him. Things were just getting worse and worse. But we made the right decision sacking him, definitely. Because quite clearly Solskjaer could have not taken this team any further. Manchester United did pay Solskjaer around $7.5 million because last summer he signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further year, and Manchester United should never give him that contract. But despite him getting sacked last Sunday morning, all United fans still adore him and will always adore him, reflecting on what he's done for the club. Solskjaer was a great player for Man United and is a club legend, and he always will be a club legend. Ole was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. I was surprised he lasted as long as he did, but the reason he did is because he's a legend of the club. Disregarding being a legend of the club, I can assure he would have been sacked a while ago. He should have been sacked at the Liverpool game, revert back to what I said earlier, because if we'd have sacked him after that game, I can assure Man United would have got Antonio Conte. But I did feel for Ole, when he did that interview, because he got the vast majority of the blame, reflecting on, the poor performances. And yeah, he was partly to blame. for some of the poor performances, because his tactics and his team selections were questioned a lot, but not all the blame stemmed from him. There was also players that had to take responsibility for those poor performances as well. You know, this season was his third full season as United manager. And I did say at the start of this season that this season was always going to be massive for him. And obviously the pressure was on him at the start of this season, reflecting on the summer transfer window Man United had, because Man United did endure a very good summer transfer window this year. Made 4 signings. 3 of the 4 signings were major signings. And Man United spent around 141 million in the summer transfer window this year. And you know, when Ollie was United manager, he received very good backing as well from the board. The Glazers backed him, Ed Woodward backed him, John Murtaugh, our director of football, backed him, and Darren Fletcher backed him. So, in the last couple of months of Solskjaer's managerial tenure at United, you know, he did run out of excuses, didn't he? Let's be honest. You know, Ollie did not win a trophy as United manager, and I said, you know, he was never capable of winning trophies as United manager. Man United have not won a trophy since 2017, and the expectations were far too high for Ollie to exceed as United manager. And he was just basically in a position that he shouldn't have ever been in. You know, he did get appointed in as the caretaker manager back in December 2018. He was the caretaker manager for 3 months, did very, very well as the caretaker manager. So reflecting on that, the club decided to give him the job permanently back in March 2019, of course. But yet, Solskjaer was the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because obviously Man United sacked Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and of course Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Your predicted 11 for the game against Chelsea probably will be coming up tomorrow at some point. So anyway, take care, God bless guys. My channel name's Red Devil 24. Keep that in mind, and see you later on.